In 2001, creator Genndy Tartakovsky introduced an episodic animated action series built on a classic premise, a holy warrior fighting a shape-shifting demon. The show relied on the visual language of legendary cinema directors like Akira Kurosawa, using dramatic color blocking, stark minimalism, and long stretches of silence to convey emotional weight. Then the narrative jumps 50 years into the future. Aku has destroyed all known time portals, trapping Jack in a dystopian wasteland where the side effects of time travel have frozen his aging indefinitely. The stoic discipline that once defined him has eroded. He rides a motorcycle, carries firearms, and has lost his magical katana, leaving him haunted by PTSD and visions of a spectral horseman urging him to end his own life. Physical immortality has become a psychological prison. Without his hope or his holy weapon, Jack's identity as a hero has vanished. On the other side of this conflict, the antagonist is faring no better. Despite holding undisputed rule over the Earth, Aku is neurotic and deeply depressed. The stalemate is a trap of his own making. Because Aku destroyed every time portal, he can never truly escape Jack. Yet, because Jack lost his magical sword, he has no way to actually kill the demon. The cycle is closed. The consequence of this unwinnable war is the psychological degradation of everyone involved. Both the invincible hero and the omnipotent villain have been worn down by decades of stalemate. This deadlock breaks with the arrival of the Daughters of Aku, a cult of 7 sisters raised from birth and brutally trained for the sole purpose of assassinating Jack. The sisters suddenly ambush him, forcing a frantic, desperate retreat. Cornered, Jack delivers a fatal strike in self-defense. For the first time in his life, Jack realizes he hasn't destroyed a machine or a monster. He has killed a human being, violating his ultimate moral code. This guilt drives him to the brink of ritual suicide, as the hallucinations of spectral horsemen in his mind grow increasingly aggressive. Jack has reached his absolute nadir. The physical threat of Aku is secondary to the fact that Jack has violated his own code, a blow that shatters his spirit more than any blade ever could. Jack manages to defeat the remaining assassins, but he spares the final sister, Ashi. As they travel, he shows her the natural beauty of the world and the reality of Aku's destruction. Exposed to the truth, Ashi's brainwashed upbringing cracks. She renounces her cult and transforms into Jack's fiercest ally. Guiding Ashi helps Jack navigate his trauma. He enters deep spiritual meditation, purging his inner guilt, until the gods return his holy katana. Along this journey, Jack and Ashi fall in love, finally ending the emotional stagnation Jack endured for half a century. But Aku discovers that Ashi is his biological daughter, born of his own demonic essence. He uses this bloodline to take psychic control of her body. Aku weaponizes their love, forcing Jack to surrender and turning his emotional rebirth into a devastating trap. Aku broadcasts Jack's scheduled execution, but the event triggers a global rebellion. Every race and ally Jack saved over the last 50 years launches a massive assault on Aku's citadel. In the middle of the battle, Jack confesses his love for Ashi. The connection allows her to break Aku's psychic hold and realize she possesses her father's powers. Ashi uses these inherited powers to rip open a time portal, pulling Jack back to the exact moment he was first thrown into the future. The stalemate is finally broken, not through discipline alone, but by Ashi weaponizing the villain's own legacy against him. Jack emerges in the past and strikes with 50 years of combat experience, shattering the demon and saving his homeland before the nightmare can start. But as Jack and Ashi prepare to be married in a restored Japan, tragedy strikes. Ashi suddenly collapses at the altar and begins to fade from existence. Because Jack destroyed Aku in the past, the ritual that created Ashi never occurred. She cannot longer exist in this timeline. The series ends with Jack mourning in a forest, finding a small measure of peace as a ladybug lands on his hand amidst the cherry blossoms. Jack is left to carry the solitary, eternal weight of a peaceful world that only he remembers paying for.